Alright, boys and girls, today's lesson is Unit 6 review for our test in a couple days. So, I'm going to go over just bits and pieces of your study guide, and you are going to finish the rest on your own, independent time or at home, and you will need to study it at home. So, let's start by going over number 1 in this first group here. A jumbo box of Gingerman cookies contains 35 cookies. Best thing to do is start writing down the stuff it tells you. 35 cookies. Tina and her 3 sisters decide to share them equally. How many whole cookies will each girl get? Okay, Tina has 3 sisters. So we have to count for Tina and her 3 sisters, so that's 4 people. Okay, so our number model is actually 35 divided by 4. We have to figure out how many cookies. So, based on what we've already learned from partial quotients division, we are going to put 35 inside the carport. Put the 4 out here. Draw your lines. We know 4 times 8 will get 32. Leaves you with 3 left over. 3 smaller than the divisor, so that 3 is the remainder. And your answer would be 8 with a remainder of 3. So it asks you how many whole cookies does each girl get? It's actually 8. There's no remainder in this one in the answer because the remainder has to do with partial cookies. And they want to know whole cookies. So they each get 8 cookies. For the next one, it says Grace baked 51 donuts for the 4th grade breakfast party and put them on plates. Each plate holds 6 donuts. How many plates were needed to hold all the donuts? Okay, I'm not going to write anything down for this one. I want you to try it on your own, pause it, and then when you get it done, unpause it. Okay, so hopefully you knew there were 51 donuts. Each plate holds 6 donuts, so we're going to divide it by 6. And as I make my partial quotients grid here, I'm going to say 6 times what will get me close to 51. Well, I know 6 times 9 is 54, so how about we go 6 times 8? Give me 48. 3 left over. That is less than your divisor, so you get a remainder of 3, and your answer would be 8. So, it says how many plates were needed to hold all the donuts. Well, here's something a little different here. 8 plates would hold 48 of the donuts to leave 3 left over. So this is a case where you actually have to round up to get 9 plates because you don't want to just leave 3 donuts sitting by themselves. So the answer is 8 with a remainder of 3, but you have to round up to get the number of plates to fill all the donuts, to hold all the donuts. So your number model would be 51 divided by 6 equals 8 with a remainder of 3. Alright, so I want you to, we're going to skip 3, we're going to skip 4, let's look at 5 so we can work on angles. It says measure this angle, it says measure this angle, or measure each angle below as accurately as you can. From the following, choose the type of each angle, if it's acute, right, obtuse, straight, or reflex. Okay, remember, acute is less than 90. Say acute equals less than 90 degrees. Right equals exactly 90 degrees. Obtuse is between 91 and 180 degrees. A straight, might want to write this stuff down because this is important to know, equals exactly 180 degrees. And the last one, reflex, more than 180 80 degrees. Alright, so now that you know that, you should be able to look at this angle right here and notice that the way it's opening, because the arrow on the inside is curving out, it's not that big of an angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this angle. I'm going to see if I can grab it. I can't. I'm going to draw a similar angle to that one right here. And then, oops, move this aside. It's not what I wanted. I'm going to draw the angle one more time. And then I'm going to take this angle and line it up correctly, because if I take that angle and make it bigger, and remember I line up the vertex with this dot on the half circle protractor. And then I find my 0 line, which is this one, and I line that up with the 0 that's on the outside. Because remember, I'm going clockwise. If it was counterclockwise, that would line up with the numbers on the inside. So I'm going to take this angle, I'm going to make it a little smaller. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to line it up on the 0. Or if I don't want to turn it, I can take the half circle protractor and line it up on the 0. And then I look at where the other part of the angle comes out, and it lines up right on the 60. Don't say 120, because that's on the inside. You want the outside number when we're doing this and going clockwise. So it'd be a 60-degree angle. So let me get rid of this. If I can. Alright, so this would be a 60-degree angle. So a 60-degree angle, knowing from what we just talked about, a 60-degree angle would be less than 90, so it would be an acute angle. Okay, can't spend all this time on angles. Let's move on. I'm going to start by quickly talking about plot and label each point in the coordinate grid here. This is easy. Remember what I taught you in lessons earlier. The first number means over, the second number means up. I'm going to do the first for you. For A, it says go over 6. Here, go up 2. Right there would equal A. Okay, you can do the rest. Next one says make a true sentence by inserting parentheses. What you do is you just have to figure out if you put parentheses either around here or around these two. So you have to figure it out. Work them both out. In this case, if it would be the parentheses around the 5 and 39, because if you add those together, you get 44. And it'd be 3 times 44, and that would equal 132. So just try as many possible outcomes as you can, and then at that time you'll be able to figure out which is right or wrong just by looking at it, because if I went the other way here, and I did parentheses around the 3 and 5, if I did 3 and 5, that would equal 15. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 39 equals 54. Not even close. So that would not work. So you have to figure out which one works. If you have to do them both and then find out what it is after that, that's fine, like we just did. So you're going to do that for 9, 10, and 11. Next up, number 12 is round a population of 11,385,985 to the nearest 10,000. What you want to do is, it says 10,000th place. Find the 10,000th place. In this case, it is, make it bigger so I can underline it easier. It'd be the 8. So what you do is you'll make every number before it the same. When you get to the 8, you're either going to go up to 9 and have all zeros after it, or stay at 8 and have all zeros after it. So you look at the next digit after the 8 and you have a 5. 5 tells you that you would go up, because 5 and up, you move up 4 and below, you stay the same. So this 8 would turn into a 9, and then everything after it would be zeros. So I only went over a few with you, but knowing that, what I've helped you out with, you should be able to use this to finish the rest of the study guide. Remember, your half circle protractor can be used, or your full circle protractor, whatever you want to do. Full circle protractor is easiest, I think, because it helps you cover the whole entire 360 degrees, which is nice. Half circle will help you for smaller angles, or if you use the inside of a half circle protractor like we showed you here, if you use the inside number, you could actually measure the opposite direction too. But if you want anything over 180 degrees, then you would need the full circle protractor, because this will go all the way to 360 degrees. So go back to your desk if there's time, study the study guide, and good luck on the test later.